Cross-country and track and field coach Russ Jewett knew the Gorillas got a promising talent when Jeanette Mott signed with Pittsburgh State University in 1998, but he couldn't predict the extent of that talent on day one.
I remember when I recruited Jeanette Mott out of high school, St. Mary's High School. I remember that when she finally told us, yes, I'm going to come to Pittsburgh State, thinking that this young lady is going to be an outstanding runner at Pittsburgh State someday. But little did I know, I had no idea that she would make the kind of impact on me and on our program that she eventually did.
By the end of her decorated career, Mott had earned All-America honors twice in cross-country and 5 times in track and field, including a national championship in the women's steeplechase. She helped lead her teams to conference titles, and she garnered elite-level academic achievements as a 3-time academic All-American, as well as the Ken B. Jones Award winner as the MIAA Female Student Athlete of the Year.
Jeanette was special, and what made her special wasn't just these outstanding performances or even just her leadership. She was a great competitor, performer, outstanding leader. She was obviously an outstanding student, and she was a great servant to her university and her community and her church. She was what we coaches call the total package, and that's really what made her special.
In all, Mott captured 12 MIAA individual event titles and earned all MIAA honors on 17 occasions in track and field. She won back-to-back cross-country individual titles in 2000 and 2001. It all adds up to a tremendous amount of memories for Jewett.
I have a lot of fond memories of Jeanette and the teams that she was on. One of my fondest memories of all time of Jeanette comes from her senior year and the MIAA championship of the 2001 cross-country season, and her leadership was crucial that year. We had a young team comprised of freshmen, sophomores, and Jeanette. So we get to the conference championship, and Central Missouri is really a heavy favorite. Now, 2001 is a year we haven't won a conference championship at that point in time in 8 years. And prior to that, we'd won some. We'd kind of gotten used to winning. Hadn't won one in 8 years. And the previous 3 years, which would have been Jeanette's freshman and sophomore and junior years, we had finished a close second or third at this conference championship, kind of getting a crack in the door, not able to get all the way through. So we kind of had this feeling, and certainly I did, about trying to knock that door down and haven't quite done it. What do we need to do? Well, Jeanette gives an inspirational speech to her teammates the night before this championship, and she's done everything throughout the summer, the season, up until the night before the championship to get her team and herself ready to win a conference championship. And yet, even that night, after hearing this inspirational speech, I believe we can win this championship, but I got to admit there's a little doubt that we will get it done because Central Missouri is so strong. Well, the next morning, our team's going through the regular competition warm-up routine that we always do. I'm cruising by there where they're doing their stretching, and I like to just look in their eyes to kind of check their level of preparedness. And I did this with the ladies, and when I get to Jeanette, I look into her eyes, and she doesn't look at me and glance away. She locks on, and there is a connection there, and this look that she gives me is telling me, I can almost hear the words, "We're going to do this, Coach." And from that point, from that look, I knew. I didn't believe, I knew we were going to win that championship. It was very real to me. And there was, at that point in time, there's no more doubt. Whatever I had last night, no more doubt. And sure enough, she went on to win that race, which was not unexpected, but she inspired some freshmen and sophomores to races of their lives that really helped us to turn a second place probably into a conference championship. And I really think most of that was Jeanette Mott.
In addition to her determination, Jewett says Mott was perhaps as tough of a competitor as any athlete he's coached.
Jeanette was a tremendous competitor, especially when it really counted. She was able to focus with laser-like focus. She was extremely tough. She was tough as nails, and there was absolutely no back down in her. I remember her senior year at the national championships in cross country. She had come down with earlier that week a respiratory infection that we were trying to treat, but she still had it the morning of the championship. She was wheezing and coughing when she was warming up. She was pretty nervous about it too, and she got nervous before most of her big races, and ironically that's when she competed the best. But so she was sick, and we were both wondering if she would even be able to finish the race, let alone do well in it. And yet she finished 7th place, about as well as she could do. So she is absolutely one of the toughest competitors I've ever been around. Also, her senior year, to illustrate her toughness and her competitiveness, we entered her at the conference outdoor championship in the 3,000 meters, the 10,000 meters, the 3,000 meter steeplechase, and the 5,000 meters. That's 13 miles of fast running in 85 to 90 degree weather against very good competition that year. And not only did she finish all of those, which we weren't sure that she could do, she won all of those, scored 40 points for her team, which up to that point was unprecedented and unheard of, and people were scratching their heads. So competitor, definitely. It was one of the best competitors I've ever seen.
Jeanette Mott willed greatness from herself and her guerrilla teammates. Her legacy at Pittsburgh State University will stand all time.
Jeanette was and is and always will be very special to the Pittsburgh State cross country and track and field tradition and part of our history. And she's someone that we can all be proud to call part of our Pitt State family. It is my great pleasure and honor and privilege to welcome Jeanette Mott Owens into the Pittsburgh State Athletics Hall of Fame.
I think I'm just as nervous today as I was before races. I'm not sure why. I feel very, very privileged to be here and have the opportunity to share the blessings and thank the people in my life that have been around me. I'd like to start with my mom. Most godly person I know, has been to probably every race I've ever ran and filmed them over and over. So we appreciate that. Lots of times my mom would show up about 30 seconds before the race started, but she was always there. So thank you, Mom, for everything. My mother-in-law and father-in-law are here. They've always been great fans and supporters. Doug has probably told more strangers about my race times than anybody in the planet. We appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. My 3 daughters are here, Haley, Sydney, and Carly. I hope that one day they're standing in Pitt State University and enjoy some of the blessings that I got to experience being here. My family, my brothers and sisters are here. They had to endure a lot. One of the things we joke about is anytime we're at a family reunion, people always ask them, are you the runner? Over and over. They also didn't get very many family vacations to fun places. They were always track meets. So thank you for all of the time. One other thing that they had to endure because of track and field and cross country was if I hadn't got my mileage in for the week by Saturday night, I would pull the treadmill out and put it in front of the TV and for hours sometimes get the rest of my mileage in. And so thank you for enduring that. I want to thank my husband. Coach Jeanette talked about my pre-race focus. That included not actually speaking to him for a long time. And then my mom would graciously hand over the camera for him to video. So I believe that he hits video in 25, 30 minutes at a time of racing the same thing. So thank you for always being supportive. Pitt State, I have so many fond memories. When Coach Stewart called me back in June, I started thinking back over the memories that I've had here, and it's continued almost daily up until today. Just the university as a whole, you just have this wonderful feeling when you walk on campus. It came as soon as I pulled in this morning. The teachers, we would show up after cross-country meet at class, and they would share what the cross-country team had done and the track had done. So supportive. The other coaches of the other sports were so very supportive. When I came on my recruitment visit, the goal was to meet the coaches. I was more looking for where I was going to run track than to go to specific school. And when I walked into Coach Stewart's office, I think it's funny that he said he knew that, because that's not how I walked out feeling. One of Coach Stewart's greatest strengths is his directness. And I hadn't ran a lot of miles before I came to Pitt State. And so he opened that challenge on day one of, you know, what's gonna happen? How are you gonna do when you run a lot of mileage? And so that was by first time in meeting with him in his office, and that challenge stood through for many years after that. So, my teammates were great friends and still are great friends. I got to enjoy going out for hours at a time and hanging out with my best friends, and so I want to thank them. But most of all, I would like to thank Coach Jewett, and I'm glad that he's able to watch his daughter at state cross country today. He got to tell him, or meet with him yesterday, but thank him for all of his dedication to his athletes. He made me a better person, definitely a better runner. The respect and appreciation that I have for him, I can't convey in words. So thank you for letting me come today. I appreciate it.